Allegory of the parable of the banquet. This is an allegory. It is like a story which explains what God is actually doing. So, this allegory of the parable of the banquet is a story written in a story form. What God is doing. Like Pilgrim's Progress, we have an allegory. There, John Bunyan uses that allegory there. But he uses the faith of Martin Luther to teach us what is redemption. Here, I have used this parable of the banquet. Of course, in every parable, if I convert it into an allegory, we will find the same meaning only. And now with this parable, I'll just read it to you, and I'll go with the necessity for the condemnation which is mentioned here. I'm sure that you will be offended by the word, or you would have been hurt by the word condemnation. Nowadays, in radical thought, they try to avoid that word condemnation, but condemnation is not used in the sense which you believe. The condemnation used here is a word used to mean that a state of not being adopted by God. For us, redemption is filial adoption made by God. Therefore, on that basis, I'll just read a story to you where it will be easy for us to explain. Since you are giving me some time, I'll just go with this. In a certain town, there lived a wealthy man in place of God the Father. He called his stewardess, the Mother of God, who is the church, and said to her, to the church, or the Mother of God, I am thinking of distributing my property. Here, this is what is mentioned in CCC 2009. The first CCC which we read now, even there it is said that God is actually planning to share. If possible, I'll read it to you. See, God, infinitely perfect and blessed in himself, in a plan of sheer goodness, freely created man to make him share in his own blessed life. Okay. And in the last line, if you read, in his Son and through him, he invites men to become, in the Holy Spirit, his adopted children, and thus heirs of his blessed life. See, that blessed life you should note. He shares that blessed life there. Here, he makes us heirs of his blessed life. On this basis, this allegory is framed and given. This is being framed at present. It's not yet given. You are the first one to be seeing this. So I'll read it to you. He says, I am thinking of distributing my property. When the stewardess, the mother or the church, heard this, she asked, Lord, you have only one and only begotten Son. Do you not? If that is so, why should it be divided? Should it not simply be given entirely to him? She has a doubt. The doubt is she is asking on our behalf actually. Hearing this, the wealthy man, God the Father, said to the stewardess, to the Mother of God, who is the church, do you not know that I am a very great rich man? The stewardess replied, yes, O King. Rather than calling you merely wealthy, it would be more fitting to call you a king. You are that exceedingly rich. Accepting this, the wealthy man said, it is true as you say that I possess great wealth. Therefore, instead of all that wealth being enjoyed by a single heir, would it not be better if countless heirs were to inherit and enjoy it? That is why I am thinking of distributing my property to those innumerable heirs. See, this is what is said in CCC1. See, God, infinitely perfect and blessed in Himself, in a plan of sheer goodness, freely created man to make him share in His own blessed life. See, this is the situation in which God is planning this. There is no need for Him to create us, but He just wants to give His power or His blessed life to all those who seek Him and live as a great family. See, on hearing this, the stewardess said, "That would indeed be a good situation, Lord, but on what basis will you choose those innumerable heirs and distribute your property to them?" See, that is a good idea, but who will be given and who will not be given? You should have some sort of criteria on which basis you could distribute your property, is what is asked here. The wealthy man replied, that is God the Father, "The basis on which I intend to distribute it is this: I will look to see who honors me and I will distribute it to them." See, this is the criteria which God is following. Please understand that. He wants to know who is the person who loves Him. See, I read to you from the scriptures or from the letters of St. Paul to the Romans. From the first verse I'll read. Just now I read the third and all to you. "Brothers and sisters, my heart's desire and prayer to God for them is that they may be saved." See, they should be saved. Who? Even those who do not believe in the Eucharist, or those who do not believe in this filial adoption, they should also be saved. That's what Paul is saying here, and we are also saying that same thing only. We don't differ from him. The second verse goes like this: "I can testify that they have zeal for God." They have that love for God. I do testify, he says. Even we can also testify that they have love for God, a zeal for God, but it is not enlightened. See, it has to be enlightened. Enlightened means they should know, they should have that knowledge, true knowledge. It will come in this allegory, you can see. But now we'll just, without that knowledge of what God is doing, see that knowledge and all, he'll explain. That is the third verse. "For being ignorant of the righteousness that comes from God and seeking to establish their own, they have not submitted to God's righteousness." So they don't love God truly. See, God has a criteria on the basis of which He is going to adopt us or redeem us. And what is that criteria? Jesus says at one and only, or the first commandment, love God with all your heart, with all your strength and all. That is the only criteria which God is going to follow. If at all we love God, we will be redeemed. But not when you love without being enlightened, is what Paul says. You should know how to submit yourselves to God's righteousness to show that you love God. Therefore, here this thing, the wealthy man replied, "The basis on which I tend to distribute it is this: I will look to see who loves me and I will distribute it to them." Here, honor is the figurative word for loving God, love. This thing in the parable, the rich man has a criteria of who loves him. Okay, this is the criteria on which God is going to adopt everyone, on the basis of who loves him. And we'll continue.